I just got back from the library and I'm inviting you to rationalize my library haul with me. So, Cool Awkward Black. I thought this was going to be a book about magic and geeks, and I did not realize that these were names at the time. I didn't realize it was an anthology. I'm used to chicken noodle soup anthologies, which I don't like. So this will be interesting. It's like different stories from different authors about the same theme, which is cool. I'm eager to read it, sort of. It seems like this would be an easy read because if they're like the stories aren't that long, so like I could just read a sort, because sometimes like maybe this will get me back into reading. Sometimes I feel like reading just a little bit, but I don't want to commit to like an entire reading thing, and I don't have to commit to the entire book because it's just like individual stories compiled into a book. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm going to start with this one because I haven't really read a book in a while, and I usually read at least 50 books a year, and I have not really read 50 books this year because it's been a year, and I didn't really read last year either, and it was also a year last year, and so I need to read. Like, I feel like my brain without reading is like, it there's a feeling, and I don't know how to describe it beyond that, other than like it feels like I need to read. I want to read. I'm just struggling to get into it, so we'll see with that. So, book 1. Okay? Book 1. Ace of Spades. I saw this one, and I first saw Ace, and I was like, interesting. And then I saw Of Spades, and I was like, that's even more interesting, because, like, card. And I pulled it out of the shelf, and the cover is a card. The back cover is also a card, and look, it's like got a girl here and a boy here, and like that was interesting to me. And then I opened it up and I read that like when two Niveus Niveus, don't know how to pronounce that, private academy students, boom, done. Okay, I'm in. Also you see this like red background. Okay, this is also that red background, and that kind of like attention to the design is just like, it's really right for my brain. Okay, it's right for my brain, and it just I don't really know what it's about, but it seems like, ooh. Okay, here's second paragraph of the blurb. Shortly after the announcement is made, I think it's the valedictorian announcement. I don't know, I'm not really reading that part right now. Shortly after the announcement is made, though, someone who goes by Aces begins sending anonymous text messages to reveal secrets about the two of them. So the two senior prefects who are running for valedictorian, that turn their lives upside down and threaten every aspect of their carefully planned futures. I like that. Okay, so Ace of Spades, book 2. The Lines We Cross by Randa Abdel. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm really sorry. By Randa Randa Abdel Fattah. I knew someone in school with this last name, but I don't remember how to pronounce it. Okay. I saw this book and I was like, interesting. Don't know if I want to read this. It says when lines are drawn, we all choose sides. I didn't know if I wanted to read this, and then I turned around on the blurb and saw a fascinating look at Islam, and I was sold. So, book 3, The Lines We Cross. I do judge by covers, and I'm rarely ever disappointed from judging by the covers. So, because I'm also like kind of strategic about how I choose the books that I base the covers on that I read. So, like with this one, I could have been disappointed. Like I could have been like, that looks like it's gonna be a sci-fi, but I don't stereotype the books. Okay, I look at like context clues all around the books, and like this one says it's a fascinating look at Islam, so it's going to be about that, probably some kind of perspective of that, and that seems interesting to me, especially during these times. How It All Blew Up by Arvin Ahmadi. don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. In order to find himself, Amir Azadi had to run away. Also, Angie Thomas gave a quote for it on the blurb. I have heard that these blurbs can be like just for publicity and stuff, but I respect her. So, book 4, How It All Blew Up. Max. And that's just what it's called. It's called Max. This interested me because of this thing. So I'm guessing it's going to be about the Holocaust. It's these quotes, okay? I flipped it over to the back and I confirmed that I did want to read it, that I saw that and I was like, should I though? And so the blurb on the back says, a superb evocation, I don't know, of doublethink and indoctrination from an unexpected, thought-provoking perspective. Breathtaking. That's from The Guardian UK. Reading with Jenna from Australia says, one of the most unique and impactful books that I've read for a long time. I challenge you all to not fall in love with Max and his story, because it's impossible. Reading Time from Australia says, Max explores the dark side of human nature, but it ends on a faint note of hope. It is a confronting and often bleak novel, but also engrossing on many levels. Magpies from Australia says, Cohen Scaly's research for the work is impeccable and her storytelling convincing. Max is a timely reminder of the tragedy of war. Sold. Book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Book 5, Max. Mermaid Moon by Susan Kokol? Kokol? I don't know if you can see that. That's her name. It's backwards, but that's her name, okay? Advanced praise. Her latest miracle, Mermaid Moon, springs from the tides where Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid once swam. Okay, sold. If you want to know the rest of it, the rest is that and Walk to Land. But she delivers something even more rich and strange, and a mermaid heroine who will swim away with your heart. I don't care, it's about mermaids. Okay, book 6, Mermaid Moon. How do you Google Translate Love? This is the first book that I picked up. I just saw Google Reads, I just saw epicreads.com. I've heard of that. Anyways, I thought that this was interesting because it's like about different languages, and it's different languages. 16-year-old Anna is a poet and lover of language, except that since she moved to New Jersey from Argentina, she can barely find the words to express how she feels. As an autistic person, sometimes I struggle with words. I read, where did I read this? For everyone who has ever strained to find the words, I hear you. Okay? 1, 2. Book 7. How do you Google Translate Love? Perfectly Parvin. Things all successful leading ladies have in common. They don't cackle. They giggle and cover their mouths with hands. Blah, blah, blah. How to be less loud. Sold. This book feels really rebellious. Okay, the blurbs feel really rebellious. So, book 8. Are we on 8? Yeah, I think it's book 8. Perfectly Parvin. It Looks Like Us sounds like a murder mystery. The Victoria station burns so ferociously that the heat can be felt from the helicopter circling above. From the wreckage, a girl runs, broken and bleeding. How exciting is that? Okay, book 9. It Looks Like Us by Allison Ames. What is it? You Owe Me a Murder. Like, what even is that title? By Eileen Cook, okay? It wasn't just that I'd wished Connor would die after what he'd done to me. I'd talked to Nikki about killing him, but it had been it had been nothing but a joke, right? And then there's an X, like an X marks the spot or something, okay? 10. You Owe Me a Murder. So, 10 books. This video also took 10 minutes. I feel like that's very timely. Will I be reading all of them to the fullest? Probably not. I'm not holding myself to that expectation, okay? It's not about am I going to read every single book at length. It's about the experience of going into the library, getting like seeing the books that I want to read, getting the books and being like, okay, I can read these. And like it's comforting to have them in my vicinity, to have them as an option to read and to like if I want to read something now, I have books that are like that look interesting to me because the books that I do have in a box, because like it's just I have nowhere to put them right now. Okay, I don't want to read them because I feel like obligations because I already own them.